People always ask me, what would you do if you weren't a chef? I wouldn't know what to tell you because this is all I've done all my life since I was about 15 years old. Some of the fondest memories I have is my dad just burning coals. And I got excited because I got the opportunity to put the wood in there and shovel those coals. That's what got me into the barbecue world. When my dad barbecued, all the family would come over, and that's my grandparents and my aunts and uncles, because at the end of the day, my dad barbecued the best. Everybody would come over and everybody would leave full. You know, it's his saying was, if you go home hungry, it was your fault. What I love about him and his barbecue, it's simple. Salt, pepper, and maybe a little bit of the earthy Texas spices like cumin and chili powder. And that's it. It's so good. He's always been a father of few words. He had my barbecue for the first time and he didn't really say anything. So that was kind of a, did he like it? A couple of years later, his biggest thing was cooking barbecue for Easter. And that one year he said, hey, I want you to cook for the family. And I'm talking about 50 people. So I knew right then and there he approved of my barbecue and the torch was passed. And that was a pretty good moment. That's one of the highlights of my life when my dad gave me that thumbs up. My first competition, I walked in with a local grocery store $50 barbecue pit. And I went against some of the best barbecuers in Texas, about 70 to 80. And I got first place. So that, I was balling. I think, a big old 300-pound guy crying, and a lot of people didn't understand, but the hard passion pays off first time around. How many people can say that? At their first time cooking, you get first place. It was monumental. Being part of the Smithfield family, it's been an honor, as well as it's been a privilege. But it's nothing different than any other day because I already use their products. Smithfield has the most consistent pork there is, hands down. The fat content on there, the moisture, it tastes, at the end of the day, it tastes like pork. There's so many people putting so much stuff in it that it doesn't taste like pork. You taste more sauce, and you taste more rub, or you taste more smoke. But when you taste my ribs, people are like, what is that flavor? What is that flavor? I'm like, you mean the pork flavor? And they're like, yes! When it comes to barbecuing and grilling, it's not that hard. I think, simple things are just good. Don't overcomplicate it. Start off with something simple, some ground pork, some pork tenderloin, maybe a pork steak, something that you can grill. Once you understand the coals and understand the heat, move it up. Try some ribs. Let's try some pork chops. Those are the fun parts. Just like anything else in life, the perfect swing, the perfect stroke, it's all about practice. Yeah, you're gonna burn it. Believe me, I think I've burned more food in my lifetime than I can admit. But at the end of the day, the reward is when you figure out the aha moments. That's what I tell people. Some of my favorite things when I grill is the different woods and the way it just alters the flavor of the meats. For instance, if we use mesquite, you got a hard, very strong wood flavor. And you put that on some pork, and the fat, when you hear that fat render, and you hit those coals, it just brings back home. It can be a simple pork steak, or it can be some really good tenderloin, and the flavors are just astronomical. But then that's hot and fast. That's like driving a Ferrari. But then you go low and slow, and you do the same thing, and it alters the flavor, going from 225 for 12, 14 hours, and the flavor is just insane. Something as simple as a good pork product, as well as some great wood and salt and pepper, can change the world, I always say. Get grilling, America.